Hey gifted crafters, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Brother SE1900. And I'm going to show you step-by-step instructions on how to embroider baby onesies using this machine. First off, let's take a closer look at this machine that we'll be using. This is the Brother SE1900, and it can be found on Amazon or multiple craft stores. If you're interested, I'll put the link down below for you. This is a pretty simple machine, and it prices anywhere from about $950 to about $1,300. It's one of the most economical machines that does both sewing and embroidery. This machine comes with a 5x7 hoop, and other hoops can be purchased separately. But for this project, we're going to be using the 4x4 inch hoop. Now, the hoop size that you use really will depend on the design that you select. Now, since this is a baby onesie, you're pretty limited on the size that you can put on the onesie. Now, I purchased my specific designs from embroiderydesigns.net in case you're interested. The designs are pretty inexpensive, and you can check out their site to see all the different designs they have. Now, this is a single needle machine, so you can embroider multiple colors on the machine, but it will embroider them one color at a time, and it will prompt you to change the thread color as you go along on your project. Now, I'll also be using the Brother Embroidery bobbin thread. This is a number 60, and I have a case of the Sims thread with 63 different colors to choose from. All of the items will have a link below in case you're interested in purchasing the same ones that I'm using today. I found that the box of 63 threads will give you enough selection to do a number of projects. It comes with a color chart, and I'm pretty happy with the selection. Now let's talk a little bit more about thread changes. How many thread changes you'll have will depend on the design that you selected. Thread changes are simple, and you just need to follow the numbers that are labeled on the machine. Now, it also has an advanced needle threader, which makes it super easy. The drop-in bobbin is simple, and instructions for that are also labeled on this machine. One tip to remember is that it's always a good idea to check the bobbin before you begin to embroider, so you don't have to stop in the middle of a project to change it. Embroidering a baby onesie is a simple and easy process to do. It just takes a little bit of patience, but it's so worth it. So let's get started on showing you how to do a baby onesie on this machine. So to start off on the project, what I went ahead and purchased was a baby onesie, and this is the 0 to 3 month size. It is the Carter's brand. I found that Carter's was a pretty good brand, didn't have any issues on the embroidery that I've done it before. I didn't have any puckering at all, so I was pretty happy with the brand, but there are others out there, so you can feel free to just try them out and see which one works for you. I am also using the 4x4 hoop along with the grid. That does help me align to ensure that I am centered on my project. I am also using a sticky self-adhesive tearaway stabilizer, and this is by the brand Sulky. This one seemed to work pretty well and did give me a great result. I also used the Tender Touch by Sulky as well. And this is just to ensure once the embroidery is completed, it's something that you can iron on to the back of the embroidery stabilizer on the inside of the garment. And this will just help to ensure that the baby doesn't get a lot of scratches from the embroidery. So this is a very smooth surface on one side, and it's a little bit gritty on the other. And I'll go into a little bit more detail once we get to that. So the first thing that you're going to do is I'm going to take my baby onesie, and I'm going to see how I'm going to place my 4x4 hoop. Now, as you can see, if we place it like this, you'll have the bar, which is where you insert your hoop into the SE1900. And you certainly can't have it here because there's no opening for you to be able to connect to the machine. So you will have to turn it either this way or this way in order to have that opening. Now, what you're going to be doing is when you go to insert your hoop, you're going to have the garment turned inside out, folded in half. What we're going to do is we're going to place our sticky stabilizer onto the hoop itself. And then we're going to place the onesie on top. And then that's what is considered floating. And that's what we're going to do in order to get this thing embroidered. So let's get started with this. What I like to do in the beginning is just mark where I want the design to go. So as you can see, I have the hoop all the way up to the top here. And this grid is going to outline exactly where my design is going to fall. And I'm pretty happy where it is placed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pen here, which is an erasable pen with the heat. So it will, once I put an iron to this, the markings will disappear. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and use the little circles that are inside the grid to mark up the onesie. This is really just for a guide for myself. I just find this really helpful. Once I've done that, I'll go ahead and take this grid off and you'll see the markings on the onesie. And then one of the things I'm going to do is just kind of put the onesie over to the side. And I'm going to take my sticky self-adhesive stabilizer and I'm going to cut a piece that is going to be outside of the actual hoop itself. You always want your stabilizer to be a little bit outside of the hoop. So let's go ahead and do that. I have cut this side here. Now, let me just explain to you, this sticky stabilizer will have this shiny type part on the top, and you'll see it says hoop this side up. This is the piece that has the sticky side here. And then the other side is kind of like a matte finish. That's the actual stabilizer that will stay within the garment. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this stabilizer onto the hoop, and then we're just hooping the stabilizer, not the onesie yet. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up a little bit. I'll take off the grid. I'm going to remove the top part. I'll have the bottom here, and then I will just put the stabilizer on top. Now, you're going to want to have at least a finger of the stabilizer to be outside of the ring itself. It's just, for me, it's just a good guide so that you're evenly around and you know you're going to have space here. So I'm just going to press this down a little bit, and then I'm going to put down the hoop. Now, I'll press down on one side to get that in, and then I will go to the other. And you might have to play with it a little bit just to get it in, but all you have to do is press down. Then you're going to want to go over and tighten your hoop. Now, you want to try to get this to be as smooth as possible, so not too happy with the way it came out, so I'm going to go ahead and hoop it again. And the best way to hoop, when you have the tightening device here on the bottom, it's best to hoop the top one first, get that one into position, and then just kind of work your way down with your hands. Make sure you push it down on all sides, and then go ahead and tighten it again. And this does have a little screwdriver that came with your machine, so you can also use that as well. Now, I have a little bit of an excess here, so I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and cut that off, just to make it a little bit easier for myself. And you'll see that your surface is nice and smooth. And you'll want to just tighten as much as you can. Now, they always say that you're going to hear like a little drum like. That's always a good sign that it's nice and tight. Once you have this in place and you're happy with how you've hooped it, now remember, this is one of the most important steps because you really want to make sure that it is nice and flat and just run your fingers through it to make sure everything is nice and secure. And once you have that in place, we're going to take a pin, just any pin that you find, and what we're going to do is score across, making the letter X. And this is really just to break the paper, because what we're going to be doing, if you have to do it a couple times, you can. Doesn't hurt anything. This is just to help you pick up the paper. Now I'll just set this over to the side. I'm going to go back to my onesie. And what I'm going to be doing is turning it inside out. There we go. Now the trick to this is always remembering tag side up. And just make sure it's nice and flat. Okay, so you now have these onesie turned inside out with the back side facing you. And then what you're going to do is fold it in half. And just take your time doing these steps because these are really important. What this is going to do now is just give you that center point. And remember, I made that little dot. You can see here that little dot that I made in the front. You can kind of see it through it, and you can see I'm right on the center. It helps me just kind of gauge to make sure I'm in the right position. So now that we have this folded in half, I'm going to come back over to my hoop, and you're going to start lifting your paper. Okay. Now just tear around the edges and work your way around. You'll notice this part is very sticky. That's what we'll be laying the fabric on. Okay, so now that our sticky stabilizer is ready to go, we're going to take our onesie. I'm gonna line up my hoop the way I would put it in the machine, and I'm going to be putting it this way so that I have my opening up here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Now this would be my center point, so I'm trying to line that up as well. I'm using these as my guides as well. Once I'm happy with where it is, I'll go ahead and press it down and then flip it over, exposing the back of the onesie towards you, and then just lightly press it with your hands down onto the sticky stabilizer. Okay, once you have that in place, I'm going to unbutton the onesie here, and I'm going to flip it back, right side over. Now, what you're going to need to do is make sure that the back doesn't have anything on there. This onesie is going to kind of be held down a little bit here. Okay, this is the area that it will be embroidering in. So you'll have to put some clips or something to hold this in place. And you will have to watch this as it embroids, because you want to make sure that the needle is free from any obstruction and that the embroidery is taking place only on the designated area and not on the onesies that are off to the side. So you will have to watch it and perhaps kind of hold it a little bit just to make sure that it stays like this. So now we're ready to go ahead and hoop this in. So let's go over to the machine. Okay, we are here at the machine, and I have the display over here, and what we're going to do now is go ahead and pull up the file. I already have my USB drive, and I'm going to press this for USB, and we're going to be embroidering this one here. Yep. There we go. And I'm going to use the smaller 4x4 frame. So we're going to set that. And you want to take a look at it. That's what it's going to look like. I'm pretty happy with that. So now let's set this into the machine. And you'll want to do this carefully. And you want to make sure that you have your presser foot up, and you slowly bring it inside. Then I'm going to look for my 2 locking clamps, press on this side, and press it down. And you see that it's locked in place. And now we're just going to reposition the onesie to make sure that we make space for the embroidery area. One thing you can do is use these wonder clips to kind of hold things in place. I like to do that. I think it just kind of helps it keep it a little organized. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now one thing you will notice, our onesie is facing with the headpiece over here at the bottom of the onesies on this side. So we do have to rotate the design. So I'm going to go ahead and do that by hitting the rotate button. And we're going to, oops, sorry. We're going to rotate that 90 degrees. And actually it's 90 degrees the other way. There we go. And just go ahead and hit OK. So now it'll be embroidering it this way, which is exactly what we want. Now, just keep kind of playing with the placement of the material until you feel like you've got enough space for it to embroider. So I'm going to go ahead and hit End Edit. And in case you wanted to see it one more time, you see how it's now positioned this way. And that's great. You want to hit the plus sign. It'll show how it's going to look on the hoop. You can hit OK. And then you End Edit. Now I like to press this button right here. This is just going to show me exactly how large the embroidery area is. It makes the machine move it around. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that and hit OK. Now you see how it moved, and a little bit of the material got caught there. So I know I will have to watch this. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK again. Now I'll hit Embroidery, and it's going to tell me the different threads that are required for this particular design. It looks like it's going to take about 8 minutes, and there's about 9 different color changes that we'll have to make. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my threads for this, and then we'll get this thing going, get it embroidered, and I'll meet you back once it's done. Now, if you are interested in seeing me threading the machine, I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. You loop this through number 1, down over 2, bring it across, down, up all the way, down again, and then through number 6, which is this clamp right here. Now, in order to do number 6, I like to put the presser foot down. Kind of secures the thread a little more, and it makes it a little bit easier for me to get in there. Then I bring it around number 7 and threaded it. Then what I'll do is bring the presser foot back up, and I will feed the thread into the little hole. Okay, once I've done that, I will bring it back down and again move the onesie around as best I can. Okay, let's get this started. Okay, looks like the first color is done, so now it's time to change the thread. So press your foot up, and I'll remove the thread, and let me go grab the next color. Okay, doing the third color change. Next thread is number 17. Number 843. Okay, and our embroidery has finished. So we'll go ahead and remove the hoop. I raised the presser foot, and we're just going to slide this off. Okay, so now we're back, and I'll go ahead and take off the wonder clips. And you can see we have some jump stitches to snip off, but for the most part, it is super cute. I'm going to go ahead and take it off of the hoop. And I'll go ahead and peel off the sticky stabilizer very carefully. And it will tear right off. And let's just turn it inside out. Now you can see here, this is where we're going to apply the tender touch, because this would be rubbing against the baby's stomach and we don't want the skin to get irritated. So that's where the tender touch is really good and handy. So let's just take a look at the design first. And there you have it. I think it came out really cute. We do have some jump stitches to snip off, and I'll do that in a moment. Then just give it a quick press with my iron, and then we'll apply the tender touch. Now, in order to cut the jump stitches, I do use a gingham curved scissors. It just gives me the ability to maneuver around to get all of those jump stitches as close as I can. So I'll go ahead and do that, just very carefully. Okay, I think I got most of the jump stitches off there. Now I'm going to turn it inside out so we can apply the tender touch. And I like to just kind of snip some of these off as well, just so that don't really have to, just that it looks cleaner. I just cut off a little bit of the tender touch. And cut off a little bit more. Now you're going to take the scratchy side down and the smooth side out. Now we're just going to take this to our iron and we'll be all done. Okay, have this on my iron and it is warming up. So I have again the scratchy side of the tender touch facing down, soft side facing up. And then I'll just apply my iron. And I like to just let it sit there for a little bit and just kind of pat it first. And just pat it down. Give it a chance to kind of melt itself into the material. And then I'll just move it a little back and forth motion. And you'll see that it has already begun to fuse itself to the onesie. Okay, that looks good. Now let's take it back over. And what we're going to do is just turn it back over. And there you have it. Really cute baby onesie. All set for the baby. Super cute, really quick gift that you can make for someone. Really doesn't take too much time and effort, and it really comes out adorable. Okay guys, my channel is GiftsHQ, and we want to give back to all our wonderful subscribers. So I decided to do a random giveaway on some of my videos. So guess what guys? It's giveaway time! So let me explain to you how you can enter. There's only 4 simple steps. 1, watch my video from start to finish. 2, post a non-offensive comment. Now any comment we deem to be offensive will be disqualified. 3, give the video a thumbs up. And 4, be an open subscriber so we can verify that you're subscribed to us. And hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Now let me explain how the giveaway works. We want to see more interaction with our subscribers. So the more you watch and leave a single non-offensive comment per video, the more chances you have to win. So if you watch one video, leave only 1 comment. But you can watch as many videos as you like. So if you watch 10 videos and leave 1 comment per video, you have 10 chances to win. Now we'll randomly select the video, then we'll randomly select the comment, and then we'll pick a random prize to be awarded. Now this will only be open to the viewers in the US, and a person cannot win in back-to-back giveaway videos. Now the winner will be posted in the description of this video and pinned to the top comment by us. Now beware of scammers, guys. We'll never message you to tell you that you've won. You have 5 days to contact us through our email address, giftshq.usa@gmail.com. For more information, see the description below. Okay, guys, here we go. Good luck, everyone. Let's randomly select our first video. And our first video is going to be DIY craft table with storage. Awesome. I love that video. It was so useful. I really loved creating that for people. Alrighty, so let me grab the URL for this video and I'm gonna paste it to the random comment picker. Let's see, here it is. I'm gonna copy, paste it. And I'm gonna filter for the duplicates and then gonna do a little required math. Okay, so we have, let's see, 11 random comments on this video. And now let's hit the start button to see who our winner is. Here we go. And the winner is Love is Crafting. Awesome. And they wrote, very cool video. I'll keep this in mind when we make our craft space. Good job. Oh, thank you so much, Love is Crafting. I'm so happy that you won. Alrighty, so now we're gonna make the random selection for their prize, and let's see what they won. Here we go. And they've won an embroidered tote bag. Congratulations. Now remember, you have 5 days to contact us, and for those that did not win, don't worry, just keep watching and commenting, and maybe next time this can be you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope this video was helpful. Please don't forget to join our Facebook group, GiftsHQ USA, or you can check out any of our other social media platforms. And then go ahead and share your pictures of the onesies that you made. I would love to see all the designs you come up with. If you enjoyed my video, please don't forget to go ahead and give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And if you hit that bell icon, you'll be notified of all my upcoming videos. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye!